How are you?
Yeah, good evening, brother. I'm doing well. What about you?
Yes, I'm good. Thanks for asking me too. So we are meeting very first time. Would you like to give your intro?
Yeah, for sure. And thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to introduce myself. My name is Shravan Madhesya, and currently I'm connecting to you from Gorakhpur city, Uttar Pradesh. As far as my qualification is concerned, currently I'm pursuing my master's, which is master in computer application. And apart from these, I do run a YouTube channel as well as a part-time. I upload conversational videos. Apart from these, my hobbies are to reading books, listening music, and just watching podcasts sometimes. So that's all about me. I would love to know something about you.
Okay. So great intro you have given. Now it's my part. My name is Ashfal. I'm from UP. I complete my master in political science. My hobbies are reading books, diary writing, and practicing yoga. That's all about me.
Okay, very nice. Which kind of diary writing you do?
I write, just about myself, not myself, whatever incidents, sometimes, I saw it, I see surrounding me, incidents of my past incidents, like the present, and like if I interact with someone, any personality, if that person is the good. So I also, writes about, those people so that I can, receive my understandings when I, talk to them. So something like that I try to recap into my writing.
Okay, and how it help you in your life? Like, what are the benefits of writing?
Yes, it helped me a lot. Even it is helping me even now. I mean, first of all, in my communications, I'm introvert kind of the person, the person. So somewhere it has exposed me a lot. I mean, when coming to having the conversation and talking to people physically. So it has given me space where I can unfold my feelings, which I was, not doing previously. When I started my diary writing as a hobby, when once I was watching Sandeep Maheshwari the podcast in which he mentioned about that how we can come out from the your comfort zone, particularly to he was mentioning about the introvert. So I'm that. So I took, I drew the idea from there, and I can say that now I can talk to anyone else physically, by making the eye to eye contact, which was I was not like that. Even in my college also, I was like the someone that, I didn't talk to anyone else except very few friend of mine, but now I can talk to anyone else. But it may be in the Hindi or English. So I'm very much comfortable because of my diary writing.
Yes, I mean it's a great thought and experience that you have shared.
Okay.
Is diary writing is similar to journaling? Can we say?
Yes, we can say like that. But I don't have much idea about journaling, so because it's not you can say my forte. But I just know what is the diary. I just write about myself. But yes, I have heard from the many people. They say the both are very much same. Little bit we can say contrast are there. But yes, we can say more or less they are same.
Because I do sometimes journaling, and I think journaling is similar to diary writing. It's all about
Oh,
what we experience, what we learn, what we observe in our vicinity. That's what we learn and write. It's depend people to people. I have seen people, some people they just write about the recent experience that they gone through. And for people like me who always writes in my diary when I do something best in my life, it could be a achievement, it could be something special that happens to me, or it could be a learning. So things like this I write, but it's not been since a very long time that I'm writing. I have just started, and it's feeling nice whenever I write something. Not only just about having the clear idea about my perspective, my thoughts, my notions. It also gives me a lot of clarity about life, about
exactly.
a lot of clarity about the decision that we have taken in our life so far. So sometimes we don't get time to do introspection. So we can say diary itself is a good idea to have sometimes to write about yourself. It also improves our diary writing. I think writing skill, it improves our writing skills, as well as it makes us feel struggles to do best writing, because we need good vocabularies sometimes. So
Right.
sometimes it is helping to improve our English language as well. So I think you do diary writing in English itself, right? Not in any
Yes.
other language.
Exactly. In the English. In English. And what's about you,
Yeah,
George?
yeah, I do in English because I sometimes I love to. I mean, I love poetry. I love reciting poetries. I love reading
Same
poetries.
here.
Sometimes I also write poetry as well. So sometimes I write in Hindi, but yes, whenever I have to express myself beautifully. I feel very much comfortable in English. But yeah, I'm very good at writing when I have to elaborate my thoughts on the diary, when I have to write something in English. So I'm very much comfortable. But when it comes to speaking, I'm not very much clear while speaking. For speaking, I think we forget the important words. When I say important words, it means that the using right words at the right time. So this is something
Okay.
that I'm practicing on, and I believe
Uh,
surely I will be overcome this problem.
yes. Yes, you mentioned that you write the poetry. I also have the same feeling. Even recently, I started by writing the motivational, inspirational, the quotes. Like when sometimes I just contemplate when we just I mean I just sit alone. So I always try to make the motivational type of the quotes, so that like I can, because there is a lot of the feelings are there. You can't bottle up them. You have to
Hmm.
bring them to the, you can say, the cup. So somewhere the diary writing, you mentioned about journaling, these are the techniques which help us, because a lot of the things are there we can't even share with anyone else, even our best friends, those feelings. But diary is something where we can write there, because ultimately we are the only, like the one we can share. And we, I mean, I think somewhere for me, choosing English as my medium to write the diaries is very, very simple, because in my family, I think the people don't know that much English that they can write, and so that is why I chose it, because a lot of the things are there which have been lot of the traumas of my past, my school times, my college time, I wrote there. And I believe that 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 time I couldn't share with anyone else. Even in the future, I will take a step back if I have to tell to the someone else. But I wrote those the incidents, those traumas of my life on my writing, and even I'm feeling very comfortable, very elated that, because somewhere I had the weight, I was carrying that weight, but it has been released a lot and feeling very pleasant. And that is somewhere I committed the mistakes, and even I'm regretting over them. But I couldn't even explain there. But on when those things were happening, but through my diary writing, I have regretted that, okay, those were my mistake which I committed. So it helped me.
Very nice. And whatever you said very correctly that through diary writing, we can find out about our mistakes that we have done. And also the clarity. Sometimes, when we express ourselves, we feel very relaxed. When there is some dramas going on in your life that happened to you in your
Mm.
past. So when you express those trauma in front of somebody else, you feel relaxed. But that too without being judged. And that is the best one.
Right.
Diary doesn't judge you. So it could be our best friend rather going to somebody else, to the friend, and just expressing ourselves. So it's the best way to
Uh,
express ourselves and to have clarity about thoughts and life.
right.
Okay.
Right. Yes.
So other
Even we
than this, what
criticize.
is your hobbies?
Yes. Even in my case, I criticize myself if I make any fault.
Okay.
Yes, I criticize myself that I could do something, but I didn't. That in that way, because I believe that self criticism is very essential for us. As a good human being. Generally, we get the criticism from other, which is also nice thing, but we never get the criticism from outside. From inside. But the moment we get the criticism from inside, so we try to reflect our mistakes, our drawbacks. So I do criticize myself in the positive way. And there are a lot of the things which I have missed. So I reflect that I could do better. Those things. I mean the very long back. So by criticizing myself, I try to be very, you can say, very poised, very balanced in the future.
Yeah, I think people escape from criticism. They don't like to listen criticism, and that is the best place to write about your drawbacks, as you mentioned, to write about your feelings, write about the
That,
wrong decision that you have taken in your life. That maybe
mm,
if you do this thing in such a way, the result could have been something else. So we regret
right.
sometimes. So when we write, we become very much vigilant, we become very much attentive for the same thing when we do for the next time. So we get the idea,
Yes.
okay, these things I have write down also, and this thing we have the clarity, okay, we'll not do this mistake again in our life. Yeah. So diary writing is the best thing, I believe. And
Yeah.
I was
Same.
like, earlier I was not very much interested in writing. I was, a lot of people have said in their videos, through podcasts, through conversations, that we should do diary writing. If our doja sir, they just told, I mean, in many of their videos, that do diary writing, do journaling. But what do you
Yeah.
think that diary writing is good when you do reading a lot? I think because sometimes what you write, you know about an about a incident, about an experience that you've gone through. And also you said that we should try to do constructive criticism. What do you think?
Right.
Sometimes we become very harsh to ourselves while criticizing ourselves.
Yes,
Is
it's
it okay
happened.
for our well-being?
No, we should not criticize, ourselves as much as we do sometimes. Me too. We become so tough on ourselves, which is not the right thing. But actually, we are the human beings, so it's our nature to commit those things unintentionally or intentionally. But whatever criticism we commit over ourselves, we try to be frame the better version of ourselves. It's not like that we are trying to harm ourselves. It is for our betterment of ourselves. But yeah, it's happened. For that matter, we need a best friend, someone that can guide us. That you are giving so much, you can say criticism to yourself, which is not the right thing. But yes, we do. Everyone do the such a thing. For example, sometimes what happen, like as a student we can feel that we have to study just for 8 hour 9 hour, like that. But we do the study 12 hour 13 hour, which is not the right thing, like the physically mentally we do such a thing. Not because that we have any kind of the problem with ourselves. We want to be, yeah, a very better, very secure and very safe future. So these things we do as a as a human being, but these things are for betterment of ourselves and not for the you can say the ruining our career. I mean the our time, something like that. But it's happened.
Mhm. Yeah. So I totally agree with you. I can't just accept the fact that whatever you said is wrong. It's absolutely correct. Through diary writing, I have also gained a lot of clarity about my life.
That's
Okay, so
true.
you said that you sometimes you write motivational quotes and all. So
Yes.
is it your quotes, whatever you write? Is it
Yes.
your, like, you yourself make the quote and then you write?
Yes, I make the quotes. I make the quote. Recently, I made one quote which was regardless of life. I just the quote is like that. Life is a journey. Uh, Explore it, establish it, and explain it in your own term. It was regardless of the life. I mean establish in the sense that try to be the framework of your life. In the different way. As a student, we can understand about ourselves. And the next was explore. I mean life is just such a huge journey, so just try to investigate that how much far you can go regardless of your career, your family, I mean engaging with your family and like that. And explain in the sense that when we get a success, we try to very limit. So just describe yourself, explain whatever you have achieved positively, not try to pretend, not try to show off the arrogance to something like that. I mean, a lot of the definitions are there. The birth is so subtle, but the sense is very profound.